There's a lot of fighting in this movie. So Bella's a vampire now, and she's all excited, and apparently she's really strong and wants to eat people and doesn't know her own strength. She almost kills a hiker guy, but Edward's like, don't do it, and Bella says, okay, fine, and she jumps off a cliff. Then Bella and Edward get back to the house, and all the vampires are like, welcome to the family, and they tell Bella she looks great, and she sees her kid Renesmee, dumb name, but I'll let it slide, and the baby looks really creepy, and it's clearly a computer visual effect thingy and not a person. Like, I get it, you want the baby character to look and act a certain way, but come on, that's the best you got? That thing is so freaky, I want to yeet it out the window. And I don't feel that way about babies. I think babies are nice. I'm Sir Dinosaur from Planet X, and I'm way taller than everybody else on Earth, and I have big teeth, so babies think I'm scary. But I like them. In a friendly way. Not the way Jacob likes babies, apparently. So, yeah, about that Jacob thing, let's talk about it. The worst thing ever happens. Jacob reveals that he's imprinted on the baby. And yeah, he said that in the last movie, but now he talks about what that means. Apparently, it's a werewolf thing where they're soulmates and they can talk to each other using their minds. So Jacob is looking at this little baby like she's his wife, and I'm like, bleh! What the heck? This is not for kids, not for teenagers, not for grown-ups, not for old people, not for anybody, especially not babies. People tell me that if a grown-up tries to form a bond with a kid that is under 18 here on Earth, they put you in jail for like 1,000,000 years. And if you somehow get out on good behavior and you say sorry for being a creepy sicko, then they put you on a list and they gotta tell everybody within a certain radius if you move close to them because you're a certified sicko for your whole life. Oh man, I'm all worked up now. But I cannot say it enough. This whole imprinting on a baby thing is sick and wrong. I know all the people in the movie are actors, and all the people who worked on the movie made money to pay their rent and feed their families and pay for their kids to go to school, so I can't get too mad about that. But whoever wrote this needs to get their head examined. For real. I mean, crying out loud. I had to say this movie was not for kids after like 10 minutes, and the movie's 2 hours. I hope I never have to do that again. Anyway, Bella freaks out at Jacob and attacks him and his wolf buddies, and honestly, I think that's pretty fair. Jacob tries to say, oh, wolves can't control it, but I'm over here thinking like, find a way, pal. All the people who are on the list of certified sickos say stuff like that. No excuses. I guess after they fight it out, tensions calm down, and people start to get used to the idea that Jacob is this baby's soulmate, even though it's the most messed up thing ever. Then Bella's dad is like, what the heck is going on? And he tries to get answers, but no one's telling him anything, so Jacob shows up and doesn't tell him about Bella being a vampire, but he tells Bella's dad about the whole werewolf thing. So he's really freaked out now, and he shows up at the vampire house, and they lie to him and say the baby is adopted. The dad smells something fishy for a lot of reasons, which makes sense. I hear that adopting a kid is pretty hard, and you gotta go through a whole process and get vetted and stuff. And Bella and Edward have been married for like a few weeks. Things start to settle down, and Bella's enjoying the whole vampire thing, but everyone gets worried because the baby becomes a girl like way too quickly. Instead of taking years, it takes like a week or two or something. I think it's kind of a relief though, since that character is not a creepy computer effect anymore. The kid jumps up in the air though in a superpowered way, and one of the Volturi vampires sees and gets all upset about this. So now everybody has a problem because the Volturi are mad. Apparently there was a failed experiment in the past where the vampires turned some kids into vampires, and those kid vampires couldn't control themselves, so the grown-up vampires murdered them all. There's even one part where a grown-up vampire tried to save one of the kid vampires from being murdered since she looked at it like it was her kid, so the other vampires ripped her apart with some goofy special effects. Alice has a vision of the Volturi attacking Bella and Edward's vampire family since they look at Renesmee as one of these immortal children dudes that has to be destroyed. Dang, this is pretty dark stuff. But this movie was already not for kids though, so I guess it doesn't matter now. They might as well just do a lot of crazy stuff because anybody who was going to walk out of the theater or turn off the movie at home because of stuff like that was not okay would have done that after 10 minutes. The vampire family realizes they gotta get some allies together for the big fight with the Volturi, so they start getting people together from all parts of the world. For whatever reason, a lot of these vampires have different types of powers. The movie spends like a lot of time introducing all these random people who were never part of the story before and are only showing up for the fight. Some of the vampires still like to eat people, so Jacob feels uncomfortable. Since Jacob has imprinted on the vampire kid, the werewolves are also obligated to help, so they show up too. Then it's time for Bella to train. Since she's a new vampire, the other vampires are not sure if she's got some kind of special power also. They have this one vampire electroshock Edward a lot to make Bella mad and get her to show her special power. Apparently Bella has some kind of mind shield power thingy, and I guess that could be useful. Everybody in the movies except Bella's dad and her high school friends shows up on the snowy field to maybe have a battle. They do some talking, and the talking and standing around goes on for a really long time, and it's not going well, and Alice shows the main Volturi guy a vision, and he's like, "Nah, I don't care," and she's like, "What the heck, dude?" And there's a big fight. Everybody fights in the battle, and a lot of vampires and a couple of wolf guys die, and the special effects are really goofy, and even a couple of people from the main vampire family die. And eventually, Bella and Edward team up to kill the main Volturi guy. Then suddenly the movie says, "Just kidding," to that whole battle, and we go back to Alice showing the main Volturi guy the vision of the battle. So that whole battle we just saw and all the people dying was just her vision of it, because the main Volturi guy is like, "Yo, throw me a bone here." And all of a sudden, this other vampire guy shows up who used to be a vampire kid, but is now a vampire adult, and he's not all screwed up or outing all the vampires to humans or anything. So the Volturi guys are like, "Yeah, cool, nothing to see here. This was all a big waste of time. We're going back to Italy. Okay, see you never." And then it's happily ever after for Bella and Edward and the vampire kid and even Jacob. I already told you guys what I think of this movie. I really don't like it. I think it's messed up, and I'm glad it's over and there's no more of these. I hear that when these movies came out, they were like a really big deal, and a lot of people were obsessed with the books. I hope those people read better books now with better morals, because this ain't it. If grown-ups want to watch a good romance movie, they should watch The Notebook instead, because that movie's pretty good.